everybody, welcome back to my car. I'm on the run today just because I have to go to work in maybe an hour or so, and I just finished this book and I wanted to talk about it before it left my head. So I finished Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera. I got an arc from work. Thanks, work, you the best. You give me money and you give me books, even when I give you money and you give me books. Yeah, that works. So I think this is the first fantasy series by Adam Silvera. I also read but did not finish They Will Die at the End by the same author, just because I am scared to finish. But I mean, from what I've been reading, it's really good. And like I said, this is his first fantasy novel. People have been really talking about it, so when I saw that it was at my job for me to grab and read beforehand, I was like, okay, let me grab this. It sounds really cool. So the synopsis of this book is about two brothers named Emil and Brighton living in near future New York City, United States of America, where there's a world of people who are born with powers and people who acquire powers. So like any other review where I talk about a specific book, I'm going to start with a generalized review, and then I'm going to get more into details and spoilery, and I'll let you know when that happens. So to start things off with, 350 pages. And it's a world that's really familiar to us. Like, there's YouTube and hashtags and Twitter and a bunch of stuff, a bunch of pop culture references that, you know, are made throughout the book. So it tells you kind of where we are in the future. I guess I want to say near future, alternate reality, because it doesn't specifically say like certain things that are happening in the world today that are happening in this world. But either way, the book starts out with two brothers, Brighton and Emil, and Brighton is obsessed with these people, these beings called Celestials, also known as spellcasters, and those are the people who are born with powers. They're seen, well, he sees them as superheroes because of recent events in the world that in this takes place. The general public doesn't like them. They fear them because, you know, it's like the X-Men. They fear what they don't understand. And I'm just going to put this down now because my arm hurts. And the first encounter that we as the reader have with the Celestials is when they're fighting what is known to be as a specter. And a specter is somebody who acquires powers. Now, they're also known as bloodcasters, in which they drink the blood or ingest the blood or inject the blood of a creature directly into their bloodstream so they could take on their powers. So they have to kill like a phoenix or a hydra, or even, you know what, we're not going to get there because that's a spoiler. But yes, so hydras and phoenixes and things that don't exist in our world exist in that world. And I really liked the character of Emil. There's different perspectives, points of view that take place in the book. So different chapters are different points of view. And Emil's point of view was my favorite, just because, like, I felt like I connected with him the most. And if I was in this world, I would see things as like, you know what, that's really cool. I respect what you're doing, but I'm going to do what I do. Also, this is not a spoiler because it's on the back of the book or the inside of the cover. Brighton, who is so obsessed with these Celestials and he wants powers really bad and he believes that they have powers, he and his brother, Emil actually develops power on their 18th birthday, and he has Phoenix fire power, which is very uncommon, because normally you would have to acquire that through blood casting or through killing a phoenix. And Emil is very protective of phoenix rights. He actually works at the Museum of Natural Creatures or something like that. And he's obsessed with phoenixes. He's obsessed with, like, their legacies, the different kinds of phoenixes. So it's kind of like a shock to him that he has phoenix powers. And Brighton is very jealous automatically. And I did not feel sympathy for Brighton at all at any point in this book. The other parts of it were, like, you would also see the points of view from, like, other characters that you hadn't been properly introduced to yet. So, like, you would get, like, points of view from Emil and Brighton, or like Brighton, and then Emil, and then Brighton, and then Emil. But then all of a sudden you'd get this random character that you will be more involved with later, but it's just like, I was really just like taken aback. It really took me out of the book because I wasn't expecting it. Like, I'm all for different points of view, but I mean, I hadn't been introduced to this character yet, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I just kind of felt like that made it a little bit more messy than like I wanted it to be. Normally when you take on that many different points of view, I feel like you're just better writing it in third person, but maybe there's a point to it because this is the first book, I want to say, of a trilogy, so maybe there's a reason why we're doing it like that. But anyway, we're gonna get into some spoily shit. Here we go. So the further along you get into the book, the more you get into these characters' heads, especially with the different points of view. I just really feel like the character of Emil just like stuck out in a way that like he is the one that you like the most because he is the least annoying. So he doesn't want to fight. Emil is like totally 100% like, I don't want to have these powers. I don't really want to be here, but I understand why I'm here. It turns out that he is also, I'm sorry, spoilers. Turn away now if you don't want to hear anything about this book anymore. So it turns out that he is reborn from a couple of different people who were who had Phoenix blood in them as well. I didn't understand if it was like by Spectre and then the next cycle they were a Celestial. That part was confusing, but either way, he is the third reincarnation of these two other people named Keon and Bautista. And also, okay, I love me some Hispanic names. Like, dude, I want that. And he's Hispanic and bisexual. They kind of threw, oh, I don't know if he's bisexual. I'm pretty sure he's gay. Either way, the whole homosexuality thing kind of was like pushed in your face just in case you were like, is he? You definitely know. There's no question. Emil is 100% gay. We love it. Anyway. Just short of like shoving a rainbow flag up my ass. Anyway, I love it. It just felt a little much. Back to my point. So he was reborn from Keon and Bautista, which I was like, that's really cool. We like reincarnation. We like phoenixes. I really like that they tied that into the whole thing. And apparently Emil is now an essential piece in the war against the Bloodcasters. So the Bloodcasters are working for this person named Luna, and there's a whole political thing going on in the background. I literally don't understand any of it. All I know is one senator is for the Celestials and one is against. That's all I know. There's a little bit more to that, but it's just because that part wasn't well explained. It was explained well more in the battle between the Spellcasters and the Bloodcasters. So the Bloodcasters work for this person named Luna, and Luna is trying to achieve immortality. For what reason? It's kind of fuzzy right now, but she's trying to achieve immortality, and Emil is the one person who can really fuck that up. So, Emil gets picked up by the Spellcasters, which are Atlas, Maribel, Iris, Eva, and some other people. Wesley, I remember those. Those are the 5 I remember. Good job, me. And everybody else kind of seems to be on the same page except for Maribel, who is sisters with Iris and is they are the daughters of 2 Celestials who got in a huge fight that killed a senator's son. Now, that part seems to be essential because it keeps popping up throughout the book, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he's dead. I'm sorry, Eduardo, the senator's son who died. I'm sorry, he died. But Maribel is convinced that her parents were framed because they were blamed for the whole thing. This whole, like, blackout, that's what they call it. There's a video of a girl who appears like a ghost and then she fades away right after the Celestials die. Her parents die. So this girl ghost, Maribel's obsessed with finding her, and it turns out that she's with the Bloodcasters. Wow, twisty, shocker. So Emil gets picked up. Brighton also gets picked up because you can't go anywhere without Brighton. this is the most annoying part of Brighton. Brighton has a YouTube channel, and he's always filming battles of Celestials and Celestials against the Bloodcasters. Wow, there's a lot of different names for them. And ooh, my brain's dead. And he's just really obsessed with being YouTube famous, and he also really wants a power. I can't tell if he's fame hungry or power hungry. I don't know if he wants the powers for the right reasons, but honestly, he just annoys the holy shit out of me. Like, I'm just like, please stop talking. I don't understand why you think that you're doing things for the greater good when you're not. You're just doing things for yourself, Brighton. Anyway, the spellcasters also pick up Brighton, and they go and they pick up their mother and their friend. I'm just gonna call her P because I can't remember her name. I want to say it's Prudence, but I know that's wrong. We're just gonna call her Prudence. Anyway, they all go to the spellcasters' hideout, which is called Nova, and there we find some twisty shit out. It turns out that Emil and Brighton are not actually related, that Brighton's father, on the day he was born, found Emil on the sidewalk burning up like a little sunbeam, and felt bad for him and adopted him. So Emil's like, my whole life is a lie, this is great. We're not actually brothers, even though we're born on the same day. So I thought they were twins this whole time, but whatever. I've definitely met enough people in my life who think that I'm the twin of somebody else, so I think it's possible to find somebody who looks exactly like you. Maybe. I don't know. It's in a world with phoenixes and hydras, so there's that. Anyway, another twisty thing. The Bloodcasters have this person with them named Ness. I don't want to call them... There's no certain assigned gender identity that I noticed, because they can shift between different people, different kinds of people. So they are called Ness, so I'm going to use the they them pronoun because that's what I feel is most appropriate. Ness was known as the son of the Senator Eduardo, the one who died during the blackout. Maribel's parents were framed and killed. Yeah, he's alive. Twisty. For a while I didn't know Ness. I didn't know what gender Ness was, so that made things a little confusing, just because I was like, oh, shapeshifter, so that means, you know, you can do what you want, gender bend, we love it. So that was a little confusing as well, but there's a definite relationship beginning to form between Ness and Emil, and I'm all for it. Hell yeah, I'm all for it. Anyway, Luna is trying to achieve immortality. This we find out through Ness, the shapeshifter who was working with the Bloodcasters. As far as I understand, Ness was a Celestial, but he was given these shifting powers from Luna. I told you, the rules of this world are really blurry, and that's what makes this book really messy to me, because there was just like, I thought this was a rule, but then it's not a rule, and we're just gonna break all the rules, and I'm just like, what's going on? I think that's why I liked Emil's perspective the most, just because I felt like his brain was just right in there with mine. Anyway, so we find out from Ness that Luna wants to achieve immortality, right? We love immortality. So in order to do that, she has to get the head of a Hydra who's never had their head been cut, so like a newborn baby Hydra, the blood of a phoenix who has never been reborn yet, and then the blood of a ghost. I know what you're thinking, Mandy. You're Mandy now. Wow. I know what you're thinking. Mandy, ghosts don't bleed. Yeah, I would have said the same thing, but apparently they do. So in order to catch a ghost, they have to have died an extremely violent death in order for them to not want to leave the earth, because they're still dealing with the trauma of their deaths. That sounds so lovely. And because Luna is fucking crazy, she brutally murdered her parents when she was 16, and Luna is now like, I don't know, 80 years old. She's still pretty spry though. So they're doing this ritual to raise the dead and get the ghosts, and well, Brighton gets kidnapped, and it turns out that Emil can fly with his phoenix fire wings. It's just painful. And I'm trying to remember what else happens at the end. Look, honestly, Maribel was in a relationship with Atlas. Atlas died. I felt really bad because I felt like I didn't get to know Atlas enough. But he dies at a battle where they're at the museum and there's an event going on for the birth of a new baby phoenix. And of course Luna's like, I'm back on my bullshit. I'm gonna go get the baby phoenix because I want immortality for reasons that I still are unclear. But Atlas dies in the battle. Emil gets kidnapped. Does he get kidnapped? No, Emil gets kidnapped when they're trying to save Brighton because Brighton got kidnapped when Luna was getting the ghost. Okay, you know what? We're gonna start over. No, we're not. I'm just gonna leave all this in because this book confused me. It confused me so much. Like, literally, I don't even know what the hell. I don't know what the hell. And that makes me so frustrated because I wanted to love this book so much because I was like, Phoenixes, like, we got a gay main character. And not only that, he's Hispanic. Like, I love this. I love this. And it just was so messy. The battle at the end, like, first Brighton gets kidnapped and then they go and save Brighton and then Emil gets kidnapped and then Ness sets him free. But then Atlas dies and Maribel's like, fuck you all, I'm gonna go kill everybody because I'm fucking crazy. That's basically the end. And it just ended like with... Okay. We're gonna talk about for a second how much of a fuck up Brighton is. So, they go save Emil. And Luna makes the potion. So she kills the newborn baby phoenix, which hurt me. It hurt me. And she kills the little baby Hydra, which also hurt me. And she got the blood of ghosts because she's a fucking crazy bitch. And so she makes the potion. She's about to drink it. And because she's so old, she can't really move as fast as she used to, I guess. Because Brighton somehow gets the potion to drink. And he drinks it. And that's how the book ends. And I'm just like, okay, I already know that Brighton's a massive fuck up. But also, you're doing the worst thing possible. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm really frustrated. And I don't know how to feel with this book. I gave it 3 stars because it was good. I liked Emil's parts a lot. And I liked the relationship between Emil and Ness. And I know my videos are normally a mess. But, like, my brain can't even begin to comprehend this book just because it was just... When I get to the nitty gritty, to the details, I don't really know which way is up because I just feel like so many of the rules that were established in the world building weren't clear. And truth be told, I don't know if I'm going to pick up the second book. Maybe if I get it in an arc, maybe. I wanted this to be good and it was not good. It was okay. Like, I gave it's 3 stars. Solely for Emil and Ness. Because I really liked the relationship between those characters. And I really liked Emil. And I wish that we had gotten a perspective from their friend, whose name I can't remember, and I want to call her Prudence, but I know that's wrong. Anyway, I'm working on trying to not make things more of a mess with my videos. And I try to just explain as honestly as I can. This is how my brain works. And if it's hard for you to follow, I'm really sorry. It's hard for me to follow too. But truth be told, everything that just happened in the last 19 minutes is truly how I feel about this book. That whole mess of words that just came out of my mouth is the closest explanation I can get to this without ripping out my hair. So 3 out of 5 stars, maybe 2.5 stars, but 3 stars, 3 solid stars. Also because of this cover. And I've seen the hardcover, it's really pretty, but I don't know. The world building just didn't feel solid enough to me. And I always have a problem with books that jump straight into world building and they talk to you like they assume that you know what's going on, and I'm like, I just got here. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this book, it did not work for me. And I really hope that somebody else reads this book and tells me I'm wrong, because I want to reread this book if somebody gives me a good enough argument as to why I'm wrong. Anyway, thank you for watching. I have to go return some books to the library, and read some more books. Now I am depression. Okay. Goodbye. Thanks for being in my car. I love you. Yes, you. Specifically you. Goodbye.